Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about that little delay there. Craig, we're good to go. Audio and video. Sorry about that. I had a computer issue there that was giving me a little bit of trouble. So sorry to keep you all waiting a couple minutes here. So we will jump right in and not try to hold you up any longer. So, all right, well, welcome to the Nadex Application and Strategy webinar series. My name is John Skelton. I'm with apexinvesting.com. And this webinar today is brought to you and hosted by Nadex. Today, we're going to talk about how to transition from demo to live trading with Nadex. I've been with Apex now for about 4 years. I've been trading Nadex now for about 4 years. And I do a lot of training. I do a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching, a lot of mentoring. And one of the big things that I've seen from a lot of new traders is, hey, I'm having trouble transitioning from demo to live. I was doing really good in demo and things were going a certain way for me in demo. And as soon as I moved over to live, I'm not having the same results. I'm not having the same success. Something's changed. And that's a big thing I get quite a bit of, and it's a big step in your trading career path. So I thought it'd be a good thing for us to just kind of cover some of the basics there and cover some, tips and tricks about transitioning. So let's get our disclosures knocked out here so we can move forward. Hey, Mike, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. All right, trading futures, options, or any financial instrument involves risk. It may not be suitable for every investor. Any examples here you see during this webinar are in no way an advice or a recommendation of a trade or a recommendation to buy or sell or solicitation to buy or sell futures, options, bonds, Nadex binaries, or spreads, or securities of any kind. All right? And any trading decisions you make are your sole responsibility. Past performance not indicative of future results. So, for those of you that are brand new to Nadex, let me just, give me just 1 second here. Any of those that might be new to Nadex and you're wondering, hey, what are we talking about today as far as a demo account? What is a demo account and how do I get one? Well, what you need to do is hop on over to nadex.com, okay? Hop on over here to nadex.com and let me see here. Very, very easy. If you're brand new, hop over to nadex.com, and when you get to nadex.com, right over here, you'll see trading platforms, okay? And you can go right here. Nadex has their online platform. They have a mobile app. You can use their, access their mobile app from your smartphone. Right here, demo trading platform, okay? Nadex will give you a $25,000 free demo account. All right, so you've got a $25,000 simulated account free to use from Nadex. All you have to do is simply select a username, fill out some quick information, and hit open demo. All right, and it doesn't matter whether you have a live account or not, you can still get a demo account. And once you click submit, in just a few moments, you'll get an email from Nadex with a temporary password, and you'll be able to log in with your username you selected and a temporary password. And you'll be able to log in to a Nadex demo account, all right? And as soon as you do that, if you come right up here to My Account, and then you go right here to Settings, and then right here to Password, all right? Nadex is going to email you a temporary password. You'll be able to go in right there and change it to whatever you want to. That way it's something easy for you to remember and log in anytime. All right, but they'll give you a $25,000 demo account. The demo account is, and we're going to talk a lot about this today, it's a great place to go in and just get familiar with Nadex, get familiar with the platform, get familiar with pressing buttons and, what are the different instruments that Nadex has to offer? What are the different expiration times that they have to offer? How do I open an order ticket? How do I place a buy or sell order? How do I exit an order early? What's the difference between a limit order and a market order? You want to get familiar with the Nadex platform and familiar with, clicking buttons in demo before you're doing that with your live money. All right, so it's a great tool to take advantage of. If you don't have one, log in right now and get one. Literally while we're even on this webinar, go ahead and get one right now. That way you've got something to follow along with us here. it's a great tool to take advantage of. And another thing that I've got to give, Nadex a lot of credit for is they do give you a wealth of free education and information. All right. They have us do these educational webinars for them. And, what these webinars are here for is to just help you understand who is Nadex, what is Nadex, what products they offer, how can I utilize them in my trading. But if you also, again, here on the Nadex site, if you go here under Learning Center, right here under webinars, this will show you the upcoming webinars. So you know what webinars are coming up in the future, what subjects we're going to be covering. You can get registered for those. Down here, you've got videos, trade examples, handbooks, frequently asked questions, news and commentary, just a ton of information. But right here under Webinar Archive, okay, this is kind of your library, your gem here. Like if you go here under Filter Presenter and you click down and find us right here, Apex Investing Institute. Maybe this is one of the first webinars you've been on. Maybe you've missed some recent webinars. For example, this webinar we're on today is being recorded, and this is where the recording will be posted, is under Webinar Archive, okay? You can see here last week the webinar that we did about trading volatile markets with binaries, a couple weeks before that, binaries at night. A ton of information in here, a whole library wealth of information about Nadex binaries and spreads. All right, and again, if you're brand new, just look back right here, back to the basics with Nadex spreads. Hey, I don't know what a spread is. I don't understand spreads. What are those? This is kind of a Spreads 101 webinar here to walk you through it. All right, what about binaries? I don't know anything about them. Right here, May 25th, back to the basics with Nadex binaries. Just going through the basics of a binary. What is it? How do they work? How are they valued? So there's everything in here from very basics of what are they, to some great webinars on, hey, common mistakes with Nadex spreads or common mistakes with binaries. So you get a good idea of, hey, what are they? What are some common mistakes that I can avoid? Then we've got a ton of different webinars in here about different strategies and systems and ways to trade them, okay, and how to utilize the Nadex platform and the strike ladder for trade management, understanding the pricing, trading morning breakouts, trading premium collection trades. Anything you could possibly want is all in here. And then today we'll be adding in here of how to transition from demo trading to live trading. So everything you need from start to finish is right there and easy to find for you. Okay, so check that out. Again, my name is John Skelton. I'm with apexinvesting.com. Apex and Nadex, two complete separate companies. Nadex is an exchange. Apex, we're an online community of traders helping traders. We're an education-based company. We've got strategies and systems and indicators and live trade rooms and all kind of stuff, but we focus on education. And I've been with them now for about 4 years as head of operations. I've got a background in banking and as a licensed stockbroker, but I'm a trader just like you, okay? We trade Nadex binaries and spreads each and every day. We focus a lot on probability and risk. That's why we love the capped risk products with Nadex. So again, that's what we're here for, just to help give you some free education, help you understand how you can utilize the Nadex products. So let's jump in now. We're going to talk about transitioning from demo trading to live trading. We're going to talk a little bit about having confidence in your strategy or system, making sure you've mastered it in your demo account and what that means, and just some top mistakes and mental preparation to switch over to live trading. So just before we get going, just kind of a quick show of hands here, because I know this happened with me and happens with a lot of new traders. And you can just type it in the questions box there, but how many of you have encountered this issue? How many of you started off in demo and things seemed to be going a certain way for you, but when you switched over to live was a little bit different? Or things didn't quite work out for you the same exact way they were in demo? Can we all say that? I know I can. Oh, Marion, come on. It happens to all of us, okay? And we want to talk a little bit about why and some things you can do to not let that happen to you, okay? you know, one of the big things I've seen, and we've talked a lot about this in other webinars, okay? Leonard says, I haven't made the switch yet, wanted to start next week. Well, this is perfect timing then, Leonard. But something we've talked a lot about is, you know, there's a double-edged sword here, okay? There's one part where people go too fast and they switch from demo to live too quickly. Okay, and we're going to talk a lot about that. But there's another equal problem where people stay in demo too long and don't move to live. All right, and the biggest thing I've seen there about people that I call them career testers. Okay, where all they've done is test. And if you talk to them 6 months from now, they're going to be testing. And you talk to them 2 years from now, they're still going to be testing, because they're trying to find that holy grail, that one trade that's profitable 100% of the time, okay? They can't handle taking a loss. It messes with them mentally and psychologically, and they come across a great system, and they dive in and they learn it, and they're testing it, and there's, you know, I was profitable on that trade, I was profitable on that trade, profitable. Oh, there's one that I lost money. Forget this system, I need to try another one. You know, or I had 2 losses in a row. Forget this system. And if that's the mentality you have, you will either never trade, or in 2 years when I talk to you again, you'll still be testing, because you're just looking for that holy grail strategy or system that never loses. And let me tell you right now, that does not exist. That does not happen. It's not out there. The markets don't work that way, okay? You will have unprofitable trades, and you have to learn to be able to deal with that and accept that, and have to understand that your strategy or system has a certain winning percentage, you know, or profitable percentage of a percentage of profitable trades compared to, you know, losing trades. All right. And you have to make sure that your probability percentage compared to your risk and reward leaves you profitable. Okay. You're not going to be profitable every single trade. Just like any business out there, when you go to the grocery store, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, whatever it is, and you're paying that company money and they're taking money in, do they only always take money in, or do they also have money that goes out to pay for overhead and employees and payroll, and they actually have to buy the products they're selling you, right? They have money that goes out, all right? And you have to think about trading as a business, and every business has overhead, every business has expenses, every business has money going out, okay? Cost of doing business. And you know, something you've heard me talk a lot about is trading's the same way. You trade from home, you have your computer that costs you money, you have maybe your data feeds, and you know, you've got your internet, right? That's like you have a furniture store I've used as an example. That's your rent and your electric and your place of business. Okay, but you also have cost of business, cost of goods. It's not always just money in, there's money out as well. But if you're in a business like that, what does it take to be profitable in a business? You have to have more money in than you have money out, right? I mean, it's very basic and simple. And it's the same way with trading. You're going to have money in and money out. There just has to be more money in than there is money out to be profitable, right? So, you know, just like you can't go and open a business. You know, I've used example before. I used to be in the furniture business years ago. If I've got somebody walking through the front door and they want to, you know, they come in and they buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress from me, right? And they hand me $3,000. But then I have to go and hand $2,000 of that to Tempur-Pedic to pay for the mattress. And I say, ooh, that scares me. I don't like how that makes me feel. That messes with my mentality. So I want to jump to a new business. Does that make any sense? Am I going to be in business very long? No. And just like if you do that in your demo account or your live account, where you're always wanting to jump ship to some different strategy or system because there was a losing trade, a trade that cost you money because you had a scenario of money going out, and then you're scared to take the next trade, right? That's the other thing. You're scared to take that next trade. Just like in my furniture store, someone comes in, gives me $3,000, buys a Tempur-Pedic. I got to give Tempur-Pedic $2,000 of that. Ooh, I don't like how that makes me feel. And here comes another customer through the front door. I want to go lock the door. I don't want to let them in and let them potentially give me more money because I don't like how it made me feel that I had to give some of it away. It doesn't make much sense, does it? It's not going to be a profitable business. So that's the first thing when it comes to, demo trading is, for the rest of this webinar, I'm going to talk a lot about making sure you're spending enough time in demo before you go live. All right, but I wanted to just cover that right there about sometimes people do spend too much time, and the reason is because they're looking at trading wrong. They're looking at their strategies and systems wrong. You're never going to find the holy grail system that wins, that's profitable 100% of the time. You need to find a strategy or system that has a good percentage of probability and good risk-reward ratio, and combine the two together. We talked a lot about that over the last couple weeks. If you rewatch those webinars, it's not just one or the other, all right? So from there, a big mistake I've seen a lot of people make when, they're learning a strategy or system is they're only focused on kind of the ABCs. When this indicator turns this color and when this goes, this arrow goes up or down, I buy or sell. I know my rules. And that's good. You have to know your rules. I see a lot of people unsuccessful in trading because they don't follow the rules. They don't understand the rules. But there's more to it than just rules, because rules work technically with a system. But you have to also think outside of the box. You have to understand the 1, 2, 3s, not just the ABCs of, okay, I understand the rules. I know what the rules are, but do I understand the rules? Do I understand why they're there? Do I understand what's actually happening when this indicator does this, or when this market hits this support and resistance level? Do I understand why the rules are there? Am I reading the market in general? Am I thinking outside the box? I see people all the time go, hey, why did this trade not work out today? Because this turned green and this turned this, and I took the trade. Well, what time was that at? 2 o'clock? 2:05? Oh, you mean right when, Fed funds rate came out, or non-farm payroll came out, or some huge news event, okay? Or, hey, why did you take that trade to buy when the market had already moved 3 deviations today and it was at a deviation level? All right. So you have to understand the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s and really know what's going on. Okay. Not just, hey, I've got the rules down. This crosses this, this turns green, I just press this button. You need to know a little more than that. Okay. And learn a little more than that in your demo account before you move over to live trading. You need to really understand kind of what you're doing here. Okay, and you also need to understand, you have to really understand being disciplined, okay, of knowing when to stop for the day. All right, you have a goal in mind or a percentage of your account of when I'm up this much, I'm going to stop. All right, we all know that what happens. You get up a certain amount, and you say, oh, I'm going to keep going, and then you end up giving it back. You have to know when to stop for the day, when you're up a certain amount for the day, or when you're down a certain amount for the day. And that's what keeps you disciplined and keeps your account in place. All right, and again, a big mistake is people not willing to take a loss. All right, like, oh, I don't want to take a loss. The market's going against me, and I'm down $40 on this binary trade. But I'm going to hold on to it, and maybe it'll come back. Now I'm down 50, and now I'm down 60, and now I'm down 7, right? That greed takes over and ends up, that greed or that unwillingness to exit a trade and move on to the next one, and you can end up losing more, all right? And you don't want to reward bad behavior when, well, hey, I just kind of take a guess on this and it seems to work out. Well, that will work until it doesn't work. And trust me, when it hits you, it will hit you hard, okay? So strategy and system still. People say all the time, well, when should I move to live trading? When should I stop trading in demo and then move to live? Okay, well, have you truly mastered your strategy or system in demo? Or are you so eager to go live that you played around in demo for a couple of days and you're just going to switch over? Or you are in such desperate need to make money that you don't want to take the time to master it in demo. Or, hey, I don't have enough for next month's rent, so I threw it in my live account, and I've got to make rent by the end of the month. John, all the stuff you say is great, but I don't have time. I don't have time to test and demo and figure it out. I got to make money. Do not do it. Do not do it. Okay? You will mentally not be where you're supposed to be, first of all, when you're trading with your rent money, or when you're trading because you have to make money, or you have to make money by a certain time, okay? But, you know, we're going to talk more about this later. Trading is not a sprint. It's not a dash. It's a marathon. It's a long-term, consistent marathon. And it's about compounding and just compounding daily and growing, okay? And one of the biggest ways I've seen a lot of people blow their account is because they're treating it like a sprint, and they're treating it like, you know, or treating it like a hobby, or not taking it seriously, or they're under so much pressure because I have to make money, okay? That is not the way you want to be trading, okay? So do not jump to live trading because of those reasons. Make sure to stay in demo and master your strategy or system. And what do I mean by master it? Okay, people say all the time, hey, when do I know to switch over? And what I like to say is the best way to, here's some of the best tips as far as when you should switch from demo to live is, have you mastered that strategy or system in demo? Meaning, do you understand the rules forward and backwards? Do you understand not just the rules, but why the rules are there? Do you understand the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s? Do you hesitate when there's an entry? When there's an entry that lines up, fits all the rules, are you still second guessing? Are you still hesitating? Are you still going back over your list and your checklist going, okay, wait a minute, is this here? Wait a minute. Now, don't get me wrong, I think checklists are great, even for, you know, seasoned veteran traders, to make sure you're following the basics. But it should just be oh, look, I'm looking at my chart, looks like that trade lines up. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, meets the qualifications, go. Is it that quick? Or are you still having to go back and say, now, wait a minute, does this have to cross this first or second? I forget. Does this have to, wait, is this a trade? Yeah, I think it is. Let's go ahead. If you're still doing that, you're not ready, okay? If you can see it, you see it coming, you see it lined up, look at your list, 1, 2, 3, 4, checklist, got it, go. If you can consistently do that in your demo account, that means you are confident in knowing the rules, confident in knowing your strategy and system, knowing the entries and exits. If you are not there yet, and you're having to double, triple, quadruple, wait a minute, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this will probably work. Do you really want to do that? If you're saying that right there, do you really want to put live money on the line? Are you ready to do that? No, you're not, right? So that is the first thing. And secondly, are you profitable in demo? Okay. Well, you know, they've been working out for me in demo pretty well, but, you know, my demo account's way down, but, you know, I have a handle on it now. Okay, well, I expect your demo account to be way down while you're learning something, but then once you got it, you should see it start to grow. Okay? Are you confident in your rules? Is your demo account being profitable? And that doesn't mean every trade, that doesn't mean every day, but consistently week after week, okay, or even month after month, whatever. It's not about one trade or one day. Are you consistently profitable in demo? Is your demo account growing? Okay, because you can't expect to be profitable in live if you're not even profitable in demo. Now, just because you're profitable in demo doesn't guarantee you'll be profitable in live, all right? But I can just about guarantee you, if you can't make it work in demo, you're not going to make it work in live. Does that make sense? Okay. And a big mistake I've seen people make, because it messes with your head mentally. I see people all the time going, oh, look at this trade I took in demo, and I just made $1,200 in buying Nadex binaries. Okay, cool. How many contracts did you do? Oh, I did 20 contracts because, it was demo. All right. Woohoo, I made $1,200. And later I made $2,000. And cool. Well, when you start live trading, how many contracts are you going to take? Oh, well, I'm just going to take like one because I only have like $300 to put in my Nadex account. Okay. Don't you think it's going to be a big mental difference when you go from trading 20 contracts at a time in demo to trading one contract live? And when you feel at the end of the day, I made like $2,000-$3,000 today, woohoo, and that goes, down to, okay, well, I made, $50-$60 today with my one contract, which is nothing wrong with that, right? That adds up. And after a few weeks of that, you can start doing what? 2 contracts. And after a few weeks of that, you start doing 3. You can build to that. But I would very much stress to you, so many people in demo like, ooh, I'm just going to take 50 because that feels cool. I want to see these big numbers. And ooh, I want to just take a random gut trade and do this. And then you have a loss. And you're like, well, I wouldn't have done that in live, so that loss doesn't count. So you forget your losses, and all you remember is your big wins. And you think you're ready to go over to live trading, right? Treat your demo account like you would in live. If you're dependent on what type of balance you can fund your live account with, if you're only going to be trading one contract in live, only trade one contract in demo. If you're going to be trading 2 in live, trade 2 in demo. Treat your demo account like it's a live account. Trade the way in demo that you're going to trade in live. Okay? And when you know your rules forward and backwards, you're not hesitating on your entries, you're trading in your demo like you would in live, and you're consistently profitable in demo, that's when it's time to start considering going to live. Okay? And you'll know that when you realize, hey, if you're still worried about losing money in live because you don't have a handle on things in demo, then don't go to live. But when you realize, I've got this, and I'm being consistently profitable in demo, I'm actually losing money trading in demo because I'm not trading live. Does that make sense? I don't know if I explained that properly. Do you understand the difference there? When you realize that you're actually losing out by staying in demo because you've got this and you need to be doing it in live, this consistent profitability needs to be happening in live, not demo. When you realize that, that's when it's time to consider, okay, am I ready now to switch over to live trading? But you're not ready if you haven't gotten those things down, and you're not doing that day to day in your demo account. Okay? So it's a very, very big mental effect, though. Okay, here's the struggle. Here's the real struggle. That's kind of the preparation there. Here's the real struggle is, people say, well, if I was profitable in demo, I should be profitable in live, right? Well, There's no guarantee of anything there, and markets are different every day, okay? But normally that's not the issue, all right? It's you have changed something. And 95% of the time I say that to people, they argue with me and fight me going, I didn't change anything. I'm doing the same thing I always did. I say, really? Well, I tell you what, go pull your trade history from demo, send it to me, and let's look at those, mark it up on a chart, and let's look at those trades you took. Now send me your last few days of live trades marked up on a chart, and let's take a look. And guess what happens? They never send them to me. Well, very few send them to me. You know why? Because in the middle of them marking up their trades, guess what they realize? Oh, right. Why did I take that trade in live? That didn't line up. I took that one late. What am I doing? And they'll realize that they're not trading the same way they were in demo. And here's why. Think about it like this. You're in demo. I've got this down. I know this strategy system. I know this rules. Oh, here's my chart. Yep. This crossed this. That turned green. My rules are met. Enter. Boom. I bought. Bam. There's profit. I'm a trading god. I got this. I'm ready. Let's go over to my live money. My hard money that I've saved for so long and scrounged for so long just to be able to get in there and fund this account. Whew, my heart's beating. My heart's racing. Here's my chart. This is crossing over. Okay. This is lining up. Okay. Press enter. Oh, wait, man. But what if this is going to be that losing trade? Do I want to wait? Do I really want to take this on? Let me just wait a minute and see if it really does start to go up. And then I'll go ahead and get in on the trade. I just... You know, in demo, I always just followed these rules and these verifications. But now that I'm trading live money, I need an extra verification. Let me put an extra, you know, I wonder what happened if I threw this indicator on there. Maybe that would, if that one showed me also, that would make me feel better. Let it move a little bit more, then I'll get in. I just want to feel better about it. Tell me you haven't done that. I've got my hand raised right now. I did that. And I blew my first account ever with Nadex. I'll tell you right here and right now. I was doing great in demo, and when I switched over to live, I did not enter the trades exactly the same way I did before. Was I trading the same strategy and system? Yes. Was I doing the same number of contracts? Yes. So I was trading the same strategy, and I was technically following the same rules as it were, meaning I did wait for these certain rules to line up, but I didn't enter the trade right when I was supposed to. I got in late after the market had already started to make its move. So therefore, what happens? I'm not near as profitable, am I? Have any of you done that and realized, yeah, I used to always just take them right away in demo when the setup was there, but in live, I waited. I hesitate to press the button. How many of you can say you've done that? When it comes to live, you hesitated compared to how you did in demo, right? And so you want to argue and say, no, I'm trading the same way because I'm trading the same system. But that system only worked because you were entering when you were supposed to, at the level you were supposed to, at the price you were supposed to, okay? So you have to realize that what worked in demo, any change to it at all is a change, okay? So maybe you're not entering it when you should. Or, well, hey, I just moved over to live. My very first trade in live was a loss. I'm like, oh, man. Okay. When you were trading in demo, if you got up for the morning and started trading and your first trade in demo was a loss, what did you do on the next trade? Did you just keep going and press the button when it was time for another trade and you're following your strategy and system and rules? Yeah. If your first one was a loss, did that make you say, oh, I don't want to trade anymore today? I'm scared. No, because it was demo money. And what were you telling yourself? Well, hey, that's just part of trading. That's how it works. Move on to the next one, and the numbers will work in your favor. That's what you told yourself in demo, right? But in live, it's not as easy to say that to yourself, is it? That first one of the day is oh man, there's a loss. Oof. It's not as easy to say in live, but well, that's how it works. It's got to keep going. That first one of the day is a loss in live, and that next one comes up, and you're really hesitating, right? You're really scared. You're really hesitating and wanting that extra confirmation and not entering the trade when you're supposed to. Or you enter the trade when you're supposed to, but you see yourself being up a little bit in profit, right? Oh man, thank goodness this second one's in the profit. It's getting in the money. I better close it out now because man, I don't want to lose another one. So let me close this out now. Like I gotta feel, notice that word feel, that I didn't lose 2 in a row. I gotta feel like I got some of my money back. So I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna close it out early. But I didn't follow my system or strategy, and then I have another loss. And then the next one, I don't let it go to full profit. I close it out early, right? And then you wonder, why are my numbers not working? I'm trading the same strategy and system. I actually had the same win, profitable versus not profitable win rate, but the money's not there. Okay, but you closed out, or you got in too late on your entries, meaning you gave up money, and you got out too early on your exits because you didn't want to lose money. And that's why your numbers are not working like they were in demo. Does that make sense? Anyone ever done that before? Hey, my first trade was a loss, so the next one, as soon as I saw it was in profit, I just had to take it. I just wanted to take it because I didn't want it to be a loser too, right? And you didn't let it go to the full profit potential it could have with your system like you used to in demo. So you see what I'm meaning here? Like some people think, no, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trading the same strategy and system. And maybe I am taking every entry when I should, but I'm exiting too early. You've changed something, okay? The other thing I've seen people do is, that is the biggest thing because it's a huge mental difference, okay, when you're going from trading demo money to your real live money. It messes with you mentally and psychologically. And what you have to do is make sure that you trade the same exact way, okay? And you got to make sure, sorry about that, I jumped here. You got to make sure to not go too fast from demo to live. You've got to understand that trading is a career. It takes time to learn it. We've talked in the past about doctors and lawyers and these professionals that make 6-figure incomes. It's not a hobby to them. They invest in themselves. They're spending, up to 12 years, additional years after high school, or, an additional 12 years in continuing education. And they have 6-figure student loan debt, right? Okay, and trading is a career, and a lot of people think, I'm going to hop in and watch 2-3 videos, and I'm just going to go and make all this money. All right, it's a career. I'm not saying that you have to invest 12 years before you can trade. I'm just saying you've got to invest some time, and you've got to learn, and you've got to study, and you've got to do it right, and don't cut corners. Make sure you have a good strategy and system. Make sure you're using live charts and data feeds. Utilize your demo account. Test it. All right, don't take shortcuts. Utilize all the free education that's out there. All right, between Apex and Nadex and all these sites that give you hundreds of hours of free education. And I heard a good quote once that the longest distance to a destination is a shortcut because you're doing it wrong and you're going to have to do it all over again. Okay, so make sure to invest some time. Some top mistakes to kind of keep yourself from is have a financial goal. Remember why you got into trading. Was it, you want to do it as a full-time job, or you wanted more time with your family, or was it financial? Have a good risk management plan. Like I said, know when to stop for the day, whether that means you're up for a certain amount for the day or down, but be disciplined, know when to stop. And only trade with risk capital, not with the kids' college money, not with your mortgage payment. It will mess with you mentally. And when you have to make money and you have to find a trade, you're going to push a trade. You're not going to follow your rules. You're going to go with gut. You're going to say, well, you know, with this strategy or system, I need these 4 things to line up, but I really need a trade because I got to make money. Only 3 of them are lined up, but I'm just going to go for it. That's not trading. What's that called? That's called gambling, right? Betting, Leonard, exactly. You want to do that? Go to Vegas and have fun. You get to the table and you get free drinks doing it, right? That's just when you're hoping to get lucky, when you're following gut instinct, or when you're like, oh man, I'm down. I got to get that. I got to get this money back. I got to get that. You've done that, right? At the Vegas table, right? Oh, I'm down. If I keep playing, I'll win it back. I'll get it back. And they take you, right? The house takes it because you're not, there's no strategy there. There's no system there. There's no rules there. There's no rules in that scenario, right? When you're saying, I'm going to trade this, or when you're at the table, you know, the casino, and you're like, okay, I'm going to gamble with this much. I'm going to stop here. I'm only going to bet this much on this. I have a strategy that does that. There's a complete difference, right? When it's off gut feeling, or, well, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw the dice. That's what you're doing when you're not following a strategy and system and rules, okay? When you have poor risk management, when you're not consistent, or when you're not taking every trade, you're picking and choosing, okay? Meaning, if people tell me all the time, well, my system, is profitable 80% of the time. Well, what does that mean? That 80 out of 100 trades are profitable. But if you start picking, going, okay, well, there's a trade set up, but I just don't feel good about this. I'm going to skip that trade. And I don't feel good about this one. I'm going to skip that trade. Well, okay, I feel okay about this setup. There's other ones that 100% followed the rules I didn't take because I didn't, quote unquote, feel good about it. But this one I feel good about and I'm going to take. What's Murphy's Law tell you is going to happen? Those ones you decide to take because you were picky and choosy, are those going to be the profitable trades or the unprofitable trades? Yeah. A system, an 80% system is only 80% and only 80 out of 100 when you're taking all of them. You can't pick and choose. Be confident enough in your system to take the trades. Okay? So, jumping between systems, we talked about that before as well. I'm sorry, guys. My computer's going wacky on me here. We talked about that before. Jumping between systems of, well, I like this system, but, then I came across a couple losses. I'm going to jump to a new one. Or I'm not going to be consistent with it. Or I'm not going to get, good live charts and data. All right, I'm not trading what the chart is telling me to. I'm trading on feelings and gut. All right, that is just no good. And the worst thing that can happen is, and I talked about it earlier, is rewarding bad behavior. Because we've all been there where it's like, well, I don't really know my exact rules, but when I see this kind of happen, I kind of feel good about that. I just take the trade and it kind of works out. And you're trading on blind luck. And you're actually doing pretty good. And you think you got it. And it's working. And then guess what? Suddenly it doesn't work. And you reward yourself for bad behavior because you knew you broke your rules. You knew you changed your rules. But you happened to be profitable in that trade. So you do it again and you do it again. And then it just, bam, it hits you. Okay? You have to be consistent. You have to follow rules. It's not a hobby. It's not gambling. It's trading. And trading requires strategy, system, and rules. And it requires patience. You can't push a trade. You can't make a trade happen that's not there. all right? And you have to, like I said, invest in time to educate yourself, all right? Be disciplined, be patient, have the education, have good risk management, have social interaction. Don't be out there trading on your own. Be a part of a group, part of a community, part of a forum. Interact with other traders that are trading the same things as you are and having some of the same struggles or questions you are, and, you know, see what other people are doing. And don't be a know-it-all, okay? Don't be a know-it-all. You know, something Daryl Martin always says is you don't know what you don't know until someone that does know tells you, okay? So trading is not about being cocky and looking good and being out on your own. It's about learning and growing, all right, and being in a community of people that can help you do that. And don't monitor too many instruments at once. Don't try to watch 20 different charts and your eyes are going back and forth between 20 different charts, because you're going to be missing trades, all right? Find a handful of good instruments you like, get your strategy and system down, learn it, know it. Don't trade on gut feelings. Follow your rules, okay? And like I said, don't think you know it all and not wanting to improve. All right, it's always a growing process, okay? All right, guys, so once again, today's recording will be posted here on the Nadex website. Go under to Learning Center, and you'll go to Webinar Archives, and under Filter by Presenter, you'll find Apex Investing Institute, and that's where you'll find today's recording and some of the past webinars as well. If you want to go back and check out this webinar again and check out some of our recent webinars, ton of information there for you. Also, hop on over to apexinvesting.com. Visit us over at our website there. We have literally hundreds of hours of free education, some step-by-step training courses on binaries and spreads, different strategies and system. We got news calendars, binary and spread calendars, free deviation levels. We'll show you how to get free charting platforms, all kind of great stuff over there. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us a live chat or submit a ticket to the help desk. And so again, take advantage of the free education that's offered to you there on the Apex site and the Nadex site, and most definitely utilize that free $25,000 demo account, master and learn your strategy system in there before you move over to live, and just keep in mind these things we covered today about those little things that you miss where you think you're trading the same way in live that you were in demo, but it's those little changes, those little differences, those hesitations, and those things that mess with you mentally, okay? All right, guys, thanks for joining us today, and hope everybody has a great rest of their trading week and weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time for these Nadex application and strategy webinar series. Thank you so much. Thanks, Craig.